Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Amelia Potter Russ. I am the wife of Sempronius Russ. I was born in Brunswick County, North Carolina in 1776. Please excuse how I am dressed, as I was called in from the garden along with the children. A neighbor fetched me to come to the house. He informed me there was an accident and my husband Sempronius had drowned in the Cape Fear River. This was on November 16th, 1816. No one really knows what happened. It was hard times here in Smithfield with children and 7 under the age of 16. I had 8 children. 2 of my children died early. Reuben at the age of 12. Reuben at the age of 2 in 1804. And William at the age of 6 in 1805. I had lots of support from my Potter family since they were in Brunswick County for many years. In 1835, 19 years after Sempronius' death, I moved the family to Mississippi. My daughter Amelia kept a journal of our travels that took us 3 months, arriving in Pearlington, Mississippi, where my oldest son Samuel lived. My children are buried in Mississippi and Louisiana, except for William, Reuben, and Elizabeth, who was married to Thomas Randall and died at the age of 33, the year before we left Smithfield to head to Mississippi. My beloved Sempronius was born in Asheville, Connecticut, July 6, 1767. He served in the American Revolution as a gunner under the command of Captain Benjamin Durkee in the company of Melroses, Connecticut. He enlisted on the 17th of November in 1783 and was discharged the 26th of February, 1784. Sempronius living in Smithfield a few years before we met. We were married 1792 when he was 25 and I was 16. My husband was a carpenter by trade, but he loved buying land. At one point, he owned over 3,000 acres, a couple miles outside of the city limits. He was a successful cotton planter. In 1810 manufacturing census, it states that Sempronius ran a thriving operation of cotton cloth with a minor production of hemp and flax. I wish I could thank the ladies from the Brunswick Town chapter of the American Revolution who decided the loss of the inscription I had put on my husband's headstone would be devastating. As you can see, it is deteriorating, and all would have been lost if they had not copied the inscription exactly from his older headstone onto the large stone laying flat on the ground. My children have descendants who are in the Daughters of the American Revolution, and thank you for hearing the short story and life of Sempronius Russ.
My name is Lydia Russ Gause. I was born in 1813. My pa was Sempronius Russ, and I loved him so very much. I was only 7 years old when he died, but I remember how nice he was and how we used to play a game called Whirly-Good. He was much better at twirling it than I was, though. Somehow, my fingers always got tangled in the strings. He would play with me when my older brother, Samuel, was not around. But if any of my brothers were at home, my pa would always play marbles with them or take them fishing down by the river. Pa would tell me to go in the house to see if my mom needed any help. He'd say, "Lydia, my little darling child, I am smelling something mighty good. coming out of that Dutch oven on the hearth. Go and see if your mama needs your help grinding spices with the pestle and mortar. But don't you get too close to the fire. I think Mama is making chicken fricassee, and she might need more spices. I would say to him, "Oh, Dad, I want to go milk Sadie the cow and bring in some delicious milk. I want to go hunting with Samuel." Dad would say, "No, sweet Lydia, you are a little too young for that now, but soon you can do just that." I remember one day, Pa sat me on his lap and said, "Lydia, my sweet darling child, I want to talk to you. I want you to always be as sweet as Apple Brown Betty and always help your mama. I want you to always thank God that you live in a country that is free." So we are honoring Sempronius Russ